morning, everybody. Welcome to another USA Basketball Recap. Joined by Raymond Lyons, Cardinal Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr., and as we've been doing throughout the group stages, and we'll continue to do for the remainder of the basketball portion of the Olympics. Going to recap USA men's and women's game. The men just played their second game in pool play. They handled Iran 120-66. Feel like everybody expected this type of response after losing to France. You know, they did what they were supposed to do. I'm gonna let you guys get straight to it. Cardell, get to start this time, and then Ray, just your thoughts on this afternoon's win by USA.
Well, the first thing I think USA did great, honestly, is they controlled the pace of the game. They held the pace to what benefited them instead of playing to, like in France, they kind of played towards what France wanted. Not tonight. They ran off makes and misses for the entire game. And then that fed into their offense. And obviously, once you get stops and you get on a run, that's what Americans always did best. You know what I'm saying? Throughout Olympic play, they executed and scored efficiently. They shot 56% from the field, 50% from deep, and 94% from the line. 34 assists, and only turned it over 6 times. I mean, it's just flawless offensive basketball. There's nothing you could really complain about with that. Defensively, to me, they were on point. They had active hands. They dug down on Iran's drivers with urgency. They closed out and took away airspace to prevent jumpers. They protected the rim. They hustled. They forced 23 turnovers from Iran, which coming in, it was something, in the preview I wrote about saying that that's the area that they can exploit they can hop on that. Iran had 21 turnovers in their loss to the Czech Republic. So, and it's not just their guards. The big man, who we may touch on, Hadid, he has a tendency to bring the ball down when he get rebounds and stuff. And if you active defensively, you can strip them and get out and run. That's what they did tonight. They forced 23 turnovers tonight, and then they finished with 10 steals. It was just great all-around defensive effort. Dame and KD, they rebounded from a rough shooting night against France, and they set the tone right away. In the first quarter, they shot 6 for 12 from the field. Dame and KD were 5 of 10 from deep, and they forced 6 turnovers. You know what I mean? So with those two, with their 3-point shooting setting the tone, it just opened the floodgates for USA, took the pressure off of them, and they could just play free and do what they do. I just felt like Dame and KD, they have to play to their standards. Those are the go-to guys. Those are the top 2 scorers on the team, with no disrespect to anybody else on that team. They have to play through them first and then get everybody else going. And once they get going and do what they do, and the defense has to focus on them, it's just effortless at that point. Then everybody else can come in and play their natural games as long as they defend as a team, and they should have success. I know Iran, obviously, they don't have the talent to match up with the USA. I'm looking more so ahead when they, meet those, powerhouses, that are winning games up there. When you run into possibly France again or Australia or one of those teams, this is the style they're going to have to play. I feel like they also stopped overpassing. Like I said, after the loss to France, some egos they're going to have to put aside. They're going to have to just play ball. If you got your shot that everybody on that team knows you're capable of making and taking, shoot the shot, man. You know what I'm saying? To play your game within the flow, and that's the name of the game. And I think they did a much better job of that tonight. And honestly, they played with urgency. We all knew if they lost, they can't contend for a gold medal. They lose pool play. So they can't afford to lose anymore. And they understood that. So they came out with the urgency we all feel like they should have came out from the jump. And here we are. So I love how they adjusted when Iran tried to throw a zone in there. They got them up out of there real quick. Jrue Holiday, he broke that down, got in, found shooters, and then that's when Iran, to me, threw in the white towel, so to speak. We're just like, yeah, this ain't gonna do it. They own one. So they didn't miss a beat. They came back with vengeance as we expected and we hoped for, and they got the job done.
Right.
Yeah, it was an appropriate response to to the last game. Khalil touched on KD and Dame coming out being aggressive. I think that made a huge difference. They just kind of established what it was going to be, and that's what they need to do. You can have your two biggest guns coming out and not shooting. So they got to set that tone. Roles have to be defined. The pecking order has to be established. That's the only way it's going to work. And on defense, everybody has to do their part. Everybody has to compete. Everybody has to be tough. If they do those things consistently every game, then I don't see any reason why they shouldn't win. Of course, this game is what it was. It's what everybody expected, but they still had to come out and get it done, and they did, and they got it done in the fashion that everybody believed they should have. So that's a good sign. It always helps with confidence and morale to come out and get a win like this, no matter who's across from you, because it's better than the alternative. So yeah, man, it was sorely needed, a performance like this, especially for them to see the ball go in routinely, and more like what they used to, because they have been struggling shooting. So yeah, it's good for the rim to open up a little bit, and they just bombed them from three. If they're going to shoot it that well, then by all means let it rock. But on time, in times when the 3-point shot isn't falling, they just got to find other ways to get the ball in the basket, which shouldn't be a problem, because the issues with Team USA is not talent. Like that's not what the problem is. They just got to adjust when things aren't going as originally planned. So this game they smothered them on defense, got good looks on offense, made the shots they had, and I feel like that's a formula that can work, against any team out there. Every team isn't going to be a 3-point. Every game isn't going to be a 3-point barrage, but they have enough offensively as to where they can make it work. No matter what. So yeah, man. Just the thing I'm looking at is the tone has been set on the defense side of the floor. We talked about that during the regular season with the Wizards. One game they would defend like the 04 Pistons or something. Then the next game they just playing Olay defense and acting like they don't care. That's not going to fly. They have to dig down. They have to be responsible, and they have to show heart like they did tonight against every team. And if they do that, they'll be fine. But yeah, man, a good win, a needed win. They handle business, and yeah, man, they just need to carry this momentum.
Yeah, I think I don't think any of us were shocked about the lineup changes. I'm also like just the groupings and pairings. Pop had on the floor. You split Dre and KD up from the first game. Had Dre coming off the bench with some of that second group to kind of make sure, even from once Drew came out, that the defensive you had the defensive you had a tone setter on the floor regardless at all times of the night. It felt like, and the other thing, you heard them barking for 4 quarters on that side of the ball and just communicating and really getting after it. Biggest thing here, like you both mentioned, is it's one night. You did what you're supposed to do tonight. This needs to be the bar going forward, keeping the turnovers down and putting forth at least this type of effort defensively for 4 quarters. We all know for years, USA gets stops, they're off to the races, and things happen. The line's shorter. Also, like the pairing of Drew and Dame together. I think Drew did a good job. I know, box score watch is gonna look at the 8 points and be like, I thought he did a great job. Late in the France game, when some of us were like, hey, that's great, you guys are taking threes. How about somebody get into the paint? Maybe create an even easier three, or get a floater or get to the basket or something. They got paint touches when they were moving the ball, and it paid dividends. You guys were talking about, we know the type of scorers Dame and Kevin are. You give them in rhythm shots. Like once those two see something, see a shot or two go in, it's all it really takes. You saw Tatum get going late in this one. I thought Booker did a good job too, just moving the ball. something we saw him kind of do throughout the playoffs, his ability to play making outside of just scoring that everybody loves. We got to see Jeremy Grant today. Him and McGee both got more minutes. Yeah, I mean, they have their full complement of players. But again, none of this matters. You can't lose again, like Cardell mentioned. Defensively, this is it. It's what it's always been. You don't get stops, you're going to be in trouble. And it's always been like that for the U.S. in FIBA play. The times that they've gotten in trouble, they weren't able to get stops. Did y'all have anything you want to add? I know, what's it called? Tomorrow's it's not a day off per se. It's a day off from FIBA, from the Olympic play. We got a draft show coming Thursday night, so looking forward to having that with you guys. Have you guys tune in? Look forward to engaging with you guys. Ray and Cardell and have a lot to say about these draft prospects. That said, for USA Basketball, we'll see you guys bright and early Friday morning, aka Thursday Night Plus, and then Saturday morning as well, because the women played their second game. They played Japan on Friday morning, and the men, they finished their pool play game up by taking on the Czech Republic Friday morning. So Friday morning, the game's at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, the game's at 8 a.m. Friday morning, the game is 12:40 a.m. So we'll see you right again about these times. If you guys didn't have anything else, gonna get to a quick word from Uz and Oz. Did you guys have anything?
Yeah, just one thing. Just clean up the rebounding. I think this is the second game they got out rebounded. You can get away with it with this one. If I'm not mistaken, I think they did get out rebounded France by a little bit, but against France, but
by 6. Yep.
Yeah, so this is the second game they've been out rebounded. They need to clean that up because moving forward it's gonna get real. You know what I'm saying? And more physical as the medal stage starts to come. So and that's a part of defense, man. They can strap all day, but if they keep getting offensive boards or keeping them or holding them to one shot, it's gonna make it a lot tougher than it needs to be.
Yeah, and even with some of those rebounds you were talking about, some of it just effort, just not getting to the long rebounds at times where they did almost everything right, like you're talking about. Some of these are conversations we've had with another team at times about just finishing out defensive possessions. And like you guys said, as the stakes get higher, they're going to cost you. They're really going to cost. Quick word from our folks over at Uz and Nas. Start looking forward to lunch. Free half and half lemonade or iced tea Monday through Friday, 12 to 4 p.m. with the purchase of $10 or more. Enjoy our lunch specials Monday through Friday during that same 4-hour window from 12 to 4. So as always, it's always a great time to get over at uzandaz.com. And Uz and Nas, the physical locations, 2 locations to choose from, U Street and Georgia Avenue. We will see you guys very soon. You guys get some rest. I know we're going to try to. Y'all have a good morning, I guess is the best way to say it, and a great day.